So I've just come from the AWS Summit in Sydney. It was held at the International Convention Centre. I've just had a nice walk down by the pier, through the grass, into the park, and I took a little moment to just sit back and reflect on the day and see what sort of personal insights I could get. I mean, it was an amazing day to start with. Everything was innovative. I loved the layout, very interactive, very collaborative. It was very reflective of all of what I know about Amazon's values and what they stand for. So that was really nice to see, and I had a great day. The one thing that I walked away with is my reflections and views upon networking, how it's utilized, strategized, and the real value that you can make out of it. And I guess it comes down to one simple thing for me, and that's quality over quantity. Now, when it comes to that, I've got my 3 tips to make sure that you do achieve that quality over quantity at whatever networking event you attend. So the first tip that I have would have to be to make sure that you really create a strong presence by showing genuine interest in the other person. What I mean by that is being actively engaged, asking a lot of questions, and frankly, doing more listening than you do talking, and really making sure that it's a dialogue between the two of you. Another handy tip when it comes to that is to make sure that you remember their name. That will make sure that it's more than just a one-off conversation that's just forgotten tomorrow. The second tip that I have is to make sure that you create mutual value. So within that conversation, it's more than just getting to know their name or their role or where they work or where they've been or where they're going, but make sure that you find a moment where, based on your active listening, you figure out what they're looking for, how you can add value, provide your own little insight, and vice versa. Again, to make sure that that's a meaningful engagement and interaction. Finally, make sure to somehow make it a personal connection. At these networking events, it's often all business talk. What people tend to forget is that in those personal moments and personal connections, that's where the magic happens. Remembering how many kids a person's had, or where they've traveled to in the world, or that pivotal moment in their career where everything changed for them. It's those connecting emotional moments that have the most lasting impact. So just remember quality over quantity. Always remember to create a strong presence and make it a dialogue. Always create mutual value, and most importantly, always make it a personal connection. Try these tips at your next networking event. My name is Nicole Schmitz, a certified leadership coach with an academic background in psychology and law, and I help senior corporate executives and entrepreneurs to find their leadership X factor, which is to think, speak, and connect like purpose-driven thought leaders to drive business relationships, strategy, and growth.